Let's talk about like I mentioned, Shane Wright. Greg, we'll go to you on this. He's gotten some heat about his performance at the World Juniors, even though it was only 2 games, about that should he be a first overall pick. Was that a justified thing, or is it just a bunch of nonsense?
It's nonsense. It's so silly. And we've been hearing this already this year. When he didn't have, 10 goals and 20 points in his first 5 games in the OHL, people were already saying, oh, he's not listen, if every single NHL scout who's been doing this for decades says this kid's the best kid in the draft, I don't care what Maple Leaf fan 2020 says on Twitter because he didn't get a point in an 11-2 route. Stop. It's so stupid. This kid is the best player heading into the draft. You know what? Sometimes you don't judge a player just by how many points he gets in a game. You got to see who he's playing with, the situations he's being put in. Sure, you would think Team Canada scores 11 goals in a game. You would think he would have 3 or 4 points, but he didn't. But you know why? Because there's just one puck on the ice and you have 18 really talented players. Not everybody's going to score in that situation. Look at the line mates he was playing with. Look at the team. I mean, come on. Like, it's silly. If it was the other way around and Shane Wright was on a team like a Switzerland or an Austria and he wasn't performing when he's the guy, then maybe you say, hey, what's going on here? But he doesn't have to be the guy on that Team Canada roster. He's like the 5th or 6th guy on that roster. So just people need to pump the brakes. Anytime something is super popular, be it, a band, a movie, a player, it brings out people that just need to take a crap on it just because, hey, I'm not going along with what everybody else does. So this Shane Wright kid stinks, and they want to get the retweets and they want to, go from 8 followers to 20 followers. So it's just nonsense. When all the main scouts and all the main, hockey pundits that do this for a living, that watch junior hockey and young players for a living and have done it for years and years and years, all agree that this is the number 1 pick in the draft, I'm going to probably pay a little more attention to the noise coming from that direction than, some guy on his phone at work, because he's mad for whatever reason. So it's nonsense. Shane Wright is the number 1 pick. He's going to be the number 1 pick. And that's, and whoever gets him is going to have a heck of a hockey player.
Yeah, agreed. And Peter, you want to weigh in on that? I saw a few tweets from you after.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I immediately looked to the same complaints that people had about Quinton Byfield after 2019, and then the same thing in 2020, where he had a slow start to that tournament, but then the production picked up. I mean, Quinton Byfield is going to be a number 1 center. Like, let's call a spade a spade. That's going to be a fact. Shane Wright is going to be a really great centerman in the NHL. Let's just leave it at that. And a lot of comments saying that they saw Shane Wright and he looks disinterested at times, and I'm like, I saw him quite a bit in the GTHL. He did not look disinterested at all, and especially for someone who's getting a lot of hype and a lot of, obviously it's going to weigh on him, but he dealt with it well. He was a dominant on the Don Mills Flyers team. He didn't look disinterested in his rookie season, where he put up great points, surpassed McDavid's rookie point total, and was pushing John Tavares's rookie point total as a exceptional status player. And he goes in, dominates the U18s as, a double underager along with Connor Bedard. So the disinterested factor does not make any sense to me, because you excel at the AAA level, you excel at your first year in junior. That where's the fact that he doesn't seem disinterested anymore? It doesn't quite play into that realm for me. Maybe teams are playing him defensively a little bit better and he's got to push, get it to the next level. Fine. I can see that. But at the same time, with his work ethic, with his vision and his awareness and his ability to be a complete 2-way centerman, I mean, you don't want this player to fall to like the 50-20s. Like, that's just ridiculous. If you have a Patrice Bergeron like centerman, I'd take that right away at number 1, even if it's not going to be a high-end centerman like an Austin Matthews or Connor McDavid. You still want that 2-way player, because look at Patrice Bergeron and how well he's played in his career. No one's complaining about that, even though he was a 2nd-round pick. So if he's a 2-way center at number 1, so be it. I'm taking that all the way.
Yeah, I agree with both of you. I mean, the thing is when I first heard that, I saw those tweets and saw that stuff, and like, come on, you look at guys that when we talked about generational players, he's not a generational player. I mean, he's going to be a really good NHLer, but the fact that he didn't put up, like Greg said, put up a ton of points in a 11-2 route, like whatever. He's still going to be a great player in the NHL, and he's still a top end prospect. I think, he's still gonna be first overall. So we gotta just that's just noise. Let's leave it alone.
Yeah, but I think another issue that people that want to jump on this when Shane Wright isn't that great bandwagon is because they see like Bedard and Mitchkov, who are not even eligible until next year, go out and have amazing games. Well, he's not those guys, and you don't get those guys every year. And the fact we're getting 2 of them in 2023 is insane. So like, not every draft is going to have a Connor McDavid in it. And it still doesn't mean he's not the best player of this upcoming draft class.